Hey goblins, rizz up those gyatts and select your fucking pronouns. It's time for a very special episode of Super Despair World. This is our end of the year, yearly, hopefully, wrap-up segment where we're gonna cover a lot of almost rapid fire. We're gonna talk about a bunch of just little and big things that happened over the course of this year. Mainly a bunch of stuff that happened before we actually started recording the show at all, because we started this like a month or two ago. So I don't know, a lot of this stuff is a bit old. Maybe it would have been worthy of a full episode back then, but now we're just gonna drop our little podcaster comments. We're gonna do a little charcuterie sample platter of weird, fun, despair-inducing things over 2023. And I think it'll be. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah,
Dave, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, actually. I'm feeling really good about 2023 being over. It wasn't necessarily a bad year, but 2024 is going to be way better. It's going to be a good year for us. I can feel it.
Yeah, this is our first episode of the new year. I sure had a great New Year's Eve event, and I feel great about recording a podcast right now with my best buddy on Monday.
Yes, we're definitely not doing this before the New Year's. I also had a great nondescript time doing New Year's things. It was awesome. Wow.
Yeah, I had a great time celebrating with humans and doing activities.
Yeah, I don't know if that's actually going to happen. I'm kind of checked out on holiday festivities this year. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know, not to get too heavy, but there are a lot of things going on in the world. There's kind of just this air of despair and malaise that really puts a damper on a lot of celebrations. My Christmas this year was pretty low key. Not that I'm upset, but like, I don't know, it was chill.
Yeah, last year there was a big blizzard here, so Christmas basically got canceled. So we wrapped Christmas and New Year's up into one festivity that was at my mom's house. So long story short, I was drinking all day with the family, then went out afterwards. And I ended up like face planting into a mound of ice and fucking my shit up. It was a really good time.
Oh, that sucks. I moved out to where I live now, out in the fucking boonies in the mountains of the Pacific Northwest. I live very rural, and I moved out here about 2 years ago, in September, I want to say. And both winters I experienced so far out here have been like fucking like 5 month long, like 3 feet of snow, like perpetual blizzard conditions. So I thought, oh, okay, that's just what this season is like where I live now. But it turns out both of the 2 years that I've lived here so far were just like freak exceptions in the weather or something. And now it's like I've got like maybe 1 week of snow so far, and it's all mostly melted out here. So I don't know, I'm enjoying the very mild season. I needed this because I'm not a fan of winter. I don't like it.
Well, see, that's the thing, is it's been unseasonably warm here as well. But I really just think that means like the next 3 months are going to be hell.
Yeah, it could be. We're on opposite sides of North America, so a lot of stuff that goes on one side is going to catch up to the other eventually. But I'm not some like big climate weather nerd or anything.
Yeah, maybe it'll all just burn down. There were crazy wildfires in 2023. That was this year, right? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, like a month or two before we started this podcast, there was a wildfire burning like within a mile of my house, and I had to like evacuate a couple times.
Oh,
so my
amazing.
house nearly burned down.
Amazing.
I'm weirdly upset because, like, obviously no one wants their house to burn down. There are a couple like sentimental possessions I would lose, even though most things are insured. So like obviously nobody wants that. But also, if my house did burn down and the insurance company just like covered all that, like this house is like 30 years old. So if they just like rebuilt it, my house value would just double. So I don't know. That's like a fucked up incentive to like fingers crossed that climate change gets me in a very specific way.
I do occasionally fantasize about like that happening, like all of my shit is just burnt up, and assuming it's insured, of course, but then you just get to like hit the reset button and just buy all new shit. It's like, hey, maybe this time I'll get that instead of that.
Yeah, or like if you're crossing the street and like a random car gets a critical hit on you in a very specific way that like lets you sue for a lot of money, but you're not actually that fucked up for life, you know?
That happened to me once. I got hit by a car on my bike, and immediately my reaction, this is how fucking cynical I am, I guess, but my immediate reaction was to just like start screaming and writhing in pain, hoping that I would look up and it's some like absolute chud in like a BMW, like, what were you doing in the street, kid? Because this motherfucker definitely rolled a stop sign. I mean, I wasn't wearing any like reflective anything. And the funny
you gotta
thing,
get some. Yeah, get some like divorced dad that just has like the phrenology of like a thumb, and he's wearing his sunglasses, recording some like Facebook video whining about Obama or whatever.
Yes, exactly. And then I would take that dude to the cleaners. As a quick aside, the funny thing is I was riding on this main road, and I rode my bike home from work. I worked at this park at the time, and it was pretty dark, and I was like, I should get off the main road. This is dangerous. I'll take the side streets through the suburbs. And then also, while I was riding through these like suburban back streets, I was like, I wonder if anybody stops at these stop signs this time of night. And lo and behold, I got my shit wrecked. But anyways, I look up after I just get fucking plowed by this like 1979 Buick, and I do the whole thing, and I look at, and it's just like crying, probably like 65-year-old woman who looks like my mom, and I'm just like, fuck. All right.
Okay,
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Yeah, I get it. I don't go out driving a whole lot, and the only times I do go out to drive, it's like, okay, I'm driving like 2 miles to the one convenience store in my entire fucking little village.
The general store, yeah.
Yeah, the ye old general shop.
Getting another axle for your wagon.
Yeah, But either way, I thought, okay, before we start talking about the year in review, I guess we're already talking a little about our personal lives. Are any like big achievements, big landmark events in the life of Dave that you'd like to share with our audience?
Shit, man. In 2023, I can't really say a whole lot of red letter shit. I did move in with my sister, and which has been cool. That's been fun. That's been interesting. We're actually moving again in March to a place not too far from here, but just a little bit better. She used to live in this apartment complex, and it was definitely better from what I remember. So that I have done that. I will be doing that. Just basically, I don't know, trying to get my shit together as far as making other shit besides this wonderful podcast that we have going here. So that's my I've been laying the groundwork for that in 23, and I think in 24 it's we're going to be just pumping away on pumping away. What's the phrase here? On multiple cylinders. We gotta
firing on all cylinders.
Yes, we're gonna be firing on all cylinders, but they're gonna be pumping, baby. They're gonna be pumping.
Yeah, we love some good pump action on this show. For me, this year definitely feels like a getting my shit together year in general. I don't know if I've ever talked about it on the show yet, because we usually have another entire like episode long convo after we're done recording, which I guess will never see the light of day. So I get mixed up what I've talked about while recording versus what we've said just like in DMs or whatever. But a couple years ago, I used to be in the art program at the college I went to. I just took like a miserable, like the worst class I've ever had in my life, this graphic design course that just like destroyed my confidence and self-esteem in art for like, I want to say the better part of like 3 or 4 years. And it was only like earlier this year that I actually finally started like getting back into art and drawing again for the first time in my life, and probably the only time with like healthy incentives. Like I never felt, or at least this year I didn't feel any pressure like, oh, I gotta get good at art within this time frame to like get a job or like finish a degree or something. So that's cool. I've improved a lot. I went from not being able to draw fucking at all at the start of this year to occasionally getting paid a few dozens of dollars for commissions and doing art for this show. So that's been my big achievement for this year so far.
Yeah, that's good shit. And I was kind of thinking about that as well, because I am in grad school right now, and I think I have another year left, but I was thinking about like the transactional nature of these like educational programs and how it kind of just ruins anybody's like drive to actually do anything for themselves or do anything that they actually want to do. And it's just like, well, I will complete this assignment and get 1 grade. Yay.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do a future episode talking about like academia in general, but I'll say up front that my experiences with going to university to study fine arts, they're largely negative. I think it's a bad thing to do. I think if you're a young person listening to this and you want to make a living doing art, just skip university. Don't put yourself in debt. Go fucking learn that shit for free on the internet, and I don't know, get a job at Kroger or something to support yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if especially with something like that, get a degree if it's in something that's going to get you a job. I know that's like a really boomer take, but it is kind of true. In maybe this wasn't true like 30 years ago, but at this point, you can pretty much learn whatever on your own. With all of the wonderful resources that we have on the internet. And it's really more about being self-directed, which is a skill in and of itself, which I always try to teach my students, is like, fucking figure it out, man. Just, you don't always need me there to do everything. Like, I see myself as more of a coach than I'm telling you how to do things.
Yeah, I'm really torn because I went to 2 different universities, and at my first one, the art program there was like super laid back and hands off. We would just be chilling for like 4 hours working on something. We didn't really get any like instructions or like learn any like techniques or whatever from the professor. We would just work on our shit, and they would walk around occasionally and be like, "Oh yeah, that looks good so far."
Yeah.
And it was fun. I did well in those classes, but it was like I felt like I wasn't learning anything. And then at the second university I went to, it was like a fucking like art industry like boot camp, like 6 hours. You gotta focus on marketers and clients and shit and like that. And it was like that was the thing that made me want to fucking give up on art for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it is tough because it's nice to have some direct instruction, but also at the same time, you need some time to develop yourself and just be around other people who are doing the same thing as you, especially in like a creative field. But I don't really think that higher education institutes are really doing a good job with either of those. So I would like to see that change in the future. I think we're still seeing the steep decline in higher education, but time will tell if they ever shape their shit up or not.
Yeah, I've seen both ends of the spectrum, from like too lax to too strict for art programs, and I've just found these programs wanting. I think they're a waste of time. I will say, I do think if you're a creative person, you do need to make stuff in a community. You do need to like surround yourself with other people doing that. But if you ask me, I think college is a pretty dog shit place to do that.
Yeah. And it really depends on the place and the scene and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, sometimes I think, man, it would have been nice to go to like music school in Manhattan or something and just been around other people and just making those connections and shit like that. But as far as the actual schooling goes, it's like, I don't need that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. If you specifically want to make like cartoons for like Cartoon Network or some shit, does that even still exist? I don't know. Then yeah, like bust your ass and go to Cal Arts or something. But for everybody else, I think it's a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean that shit is all going to get outsourced to Korea anyway. So maybe go to whatever Korean equivalent of CalArts is.
Yeah, start learning Korean.
Yeah, I'll give you some pointers.
Yeah, but that's a long intro tangent. Other than the whole art thing, I guess starting up this podcast 2 months ago is my big achievement for the year, and I hope it continues on for a good long while, or at least a fun time, if not a long time. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I don't have any plans on quitting anytime soon, but
if we don't get at least like 100 likes on this next episode, I think I'm gonna have to stop doing it. Or maybe, you know, if we don't get like $1,000 on Patreon, we're just gonna have to stop making videos forever.
Yeah, this should just be the ultimatum with every episode is just give money or we quit.
Yeah, we call this the Somerton strat. That guy was like a marketing advertising kind of student or some shit before he made videos. I'm like, oh, that explains so much. That's why I see the devil in his eyes.
Okay, yeah, that does track for sure. Yeah, just manipulating people into watching his shit and threatening them if they don't.
Yeah, and hey, speaking of manipulating people, like, comment, and subscribe if you're still watching this in 2023.
Hey.
Hey. But yeah, let's start off our end of the year wrap up. I got a big list of things we can go over this year. All of them are very tempting to start off with. You got anything that stands out to you? If not, I'll just pick one at random.
Well, I was going on a rant today about I am a psychopath, and whenever something is shared with me or I stumble upon it on the small amount of social media shit that I still deign to use once in a while. I was on fucking Instagram today, and Instagram is an absolute cesspool of shit, especially the comments section. Holy shit. But like I said, I am a psychopath, and I always have to look at the comments. I can't resist. I don't know why. It's always an absolute dumpster of the worst takes you could ever have.
I'm so bad at that like I have a big list of muted words on Twitter, but what Twitter does is, like, when you mute a word and it pops up in a tweet, it just hides the tweet with this message like, this tweet contains a word that you muted. Do you want to see it anyway? Do you want to piss yourself off and get mad at the stupid shit you didn't want to see?
That's why I don't.
Like,
yes,
I always want to see
that's
that.
why I don't block people, because it's just like, this is from an account you block, and it's like, well, I'm not gonna not click on that. So it's just complete. It's a complete waste. But one of them, I forget what the post was, but the comment was something about like, AI is gobbling up jobs left and right, and we should be concerned about this. And I was like, what jobs is AI gobbling up left and right now? Like, I fucking hate more than AI itself and just what it is right now, but the just this buzzword of AI, which only in the past, like 4 or 5, maybe 6 months or so this year, that AI has become this new buzzword that everybody's like, AI, and like 99% of the people who talk about this have no fucking idea what AI even is. They're just like, AI is scary, or AI is cool and it's gonna revolutionize everything. It's kind of like crypto, right?
Yeah, well, with crypto, it's like 99% of the same people involved anyway.
Yeah,
so it's like, the Venn diagram is a circle.
Yeah, just moving on to the next grift that they can latch on to give a little bit more hope to their dreams that they're going to become a billionaire for doing absolutely fucking nothing. It's just like, this is the new frontier, and if we just dick ride this and screech all the buzzwords enough, we're going to be part of the new rich. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah, I have one of my big hot takes about the whole AI thing is, I feel like, okay, so I surround myself with a lot of artists. I'm in a lot of art communities. Most of the people I still follow on Twitter are artists, or like doing visual stuff, maybe some like animators, whatever. A lot of people like that. So within these circles, obviously, people are like vehemently against AI. And don't get me wrong, I think AI is dog shit. I think it sucks. I think the people making it don't have any like spark of life behind their eyes. But
yes,
that aside, I think a lot of the big like screeching about how bad AI art is, it's like, oh, when you say things like, oh, this is gonna destroy art and culture forever, it's like, when you doom that hard, like you're still feeding the hype machine that makes these people money. So like, I don't know, maybe we should just start adopting this attitude that like, yeah, AI, it's like a big stupid fad, and the stuff made with it fucking sucks, and everybody can see that, you know?
Well, see, that's the thing too, is just besides the doomerism of it, if your career is threatened by AI generative bullshit, especially at the point that it is now, you fucking suck. Like, I hate to say it. Like, AI right now is good for generating like really bad porn and like just memes. Like, it's good for memes actually, because who's gonna spend like 2 hours generating or making like an image of, you know, like Donald Trump eating babies or whatever meme that you're trying to do right now. But you could just throw it into Stable Diffusion or whatever those things are that people use, and something pops out, and it's in it being bad and janky and shitty makes it more funny. But if your like career as a serious artist is threatened by AI, then maybe what you were doing was just kind of shit to begin with.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree, although I would specify that when I say like, oh, that art is kind of shit, I'm not saying the people making it are not talented. A lot of these people have very high technical art skills. They're better at like painting and illustration and whatever than I am. But I think they make a lot of like they make art as like a commodity, right? It's like, oh, I'm drawing generic knight in fantasy armor for some shit ass video game that's coming out in like 7 years, you know?
Those I think are the people who are like very scared of it, is just like people who make like corporate art and just stupid shit like that. And it's like, well, there's no meaning behind what you do anyway, so you're no different than than a robot. So, you know, maybe do something a little bit better. But I mean, art shouldn't be a fucking commodity to begin with. That's a bit privileged and not necessarily privileged. What's the word? Kind of like idealistic to say. Like, I do know that people need to make a living, and at the same time... No,
fuck it. Let's be idealistic. Who gives a shit? We have like 30 listeners.
Sure, but yeah, like that sucks that you have to make garbage to make ends meet anyways. So it's kind of a moot point.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. It's a mixed bag. Although I will say, going back to last year, 2022, a lot of people have already forgotten about this, and they really tried to sweep it under the rug. But I remember when the first wave of the NFT craze was going on, I saw a lot of industry artists trying to hop onto that train. And, you know, the people I saw who were like dick riding that shit the most were like, they weren't like fucking struggling low-level animators and like artists and stuff. They were people with cushy jobs, like art director at like Sony Entertainment, some like big fucking Hollywood studio or some shit.
But
so like, yeah,
there were even respectable artists who did that shit, like Ryuichi Sakamoto. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's a cool like neo-classical pianist and composer. And he's fucking great. Like, he's awesome. And he was pimping some NFT bullshit on Twitter, and I was just like, dude, come on, really? Like, and I can give some people the benefit of the doubt that they just don't really know what this is and somebody sold it on them. But like, if it, like, at the same time, we're just so conditioned to think that anybody involved in the NFT scene is grifting.
Yeah, I remember popular band the Gorillaz, that they got on the NFT shit too, which is like one really ironic, because one of my favorite albums ever from them, the classic Plastic Beach, was all about how like we're destroying the environment and making a bunch of like shit ass worthless commodities, and now they're selling like, get your Plastic Beach NFT or some shit, and it's like, this is fucking stupid.
Terrible.
And Yeah, I'll give them some shit because I know fucking Damon Albarn, Jamie Hewlett, these guys are like, they're like in their 50s or some shit. They're like barely on social media. I'm sure it was just something like the record label put onto them, but it was like, ooh, this is really ironic in like a very stupid, bad way.
Yeah, see, I think Sakamoto is the same way because he is also like pretty old and he's been around for a while. So it was probably just some adjacent person or the record label or whatever like sold him on this shit and was like, this is a hot thing right now in music, let's make an NFT. And the people who sold him on it probably don't even know what the fuck that is either. Their nephew told them about it or some shit. It's just so dumb.
The fucking super despair world court of judgment is in session, and some people are more innocent than others.
Yeah, if you bought a Bored Ape, you are going to jail in this court. But if you're an otherwise cool artist, we're just going to assume that you got swindled. So that's pretty much just the Supreme Court case of Super Despair World. That's how we're going to rule on it. We're banging the gavel right now. That's it.
Yeah, you know what, speaking of banging, let's bang out a few quick points on that note that happened this year. Earlier this year, there was a headline, NFTs are officially fucking worthless now. Like, the dollar value associated with all of those is, like, fucking 0.0 for, like, 99% of them, 95%, something like that. And the remaining ones that are worth any money at all are, like, in the, like, $40 to $300 range or some shit like that.
Yeah, who saw that shit coming? Hopefully all
Not
of crypto
me.
is next. So... maybe 2024 will be the year where Bitcoin goes in the fucking toilet too. All of the whales will pull their shit out, and the idiots who post on like r/Bitcoin will be left holding the empty fucking bag, and they deserve it too. Fuck you, crypto bros. And this is...
Wait, you're telling me the fucking Pepe coin I see advertised all over Twitter isn't gonna go to the moon?
Yeah, hot take. I don't think it is.
Nah, I think our listeners should keep hodling for dear life. Just never sell your fucking
Nah, bro,
board
that's
games.
just FUD. It's going to the moon. So hodl.
I thought that was a typo at first. God, that their terminology is so fucking
I
stupid,
think it
dude.
was
I hate these
originally, and then it turned into like a funny insider meme because that's what like all of these people think they're part of a secret society, but really it's just people who it's a macrocosm, I would say, of people who would have invested with Bernie Madoff. And when he sent them financial statements, which made absolutely no sense because statistically you cannot just have unlimited growth in every category, they were just like, wow, my money's getting big, let's give him more.
Yeah, that was nuts. Another thing going on with that, I remember earlier this year there was like some I think specifically Bored Ape guys, they went to like a party or something, but like
yeah.
the stage lights they used were like fucking clinical disinfectant lights, so all those guys were like fucking blinded
just
or something.
revealing the intelligence level of the average NFT crypto bro. They were probably like, we're getting the best lights for this thing, and it was like medical grade blinding UV lights. Like a bunch of people like lost their vision like semi-permanently. Like that.
Yeah,
that I think is like that. Probably a lot of these dudes, they're all fucking idiots, but I don't think anybody deserves to be maimed for just being like the victim of a grift. Some of them do, surely, but it is fucking hilarious at the same time.
I feel sorry in a like I've worn glasses my whole life. I get very like squicked out against like eyeball pain or whatever, so I feel it on that very visceral level, like, ooh, that sucks, nobody should go through that.
Yeah,
but also like it's 2023, okay? By the time this news came out, this was after NFTs were ruled like officially fucking worthless.
True.
So I'm like,
so maybe they did deserve it, is what you're saying.
These are like the truest of believers. So.
Right, yeah. And also, but like, if you're just trying to make money, that's one thing. But if you're going to NFT parties, maybe get some friends, bro. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that these guys all think they're in like a secret society or some shit, because I remember watching this like documentary earlier this year about how like, oh, the Bay Area, no, the Bored Ape Yacht Club or some shit has a lot of like dumb like esoteric Nazi imagery in their branding and whatever, and it's like I don't think this like some actual like dumb secret society shit. I think it's all just a bunch of like weird 4chan finance bros. They're like, oh, this will be so funny if we slip this in there, but it's like, oh, it's so fucking lame and corny, dude.
For sure, yeah. But yeah, I mean, blinded NFT guys, hope you get your eyesight back, but I hope this teaches you a lesson. And I can't be too hard on them, because I wouldn't say I was a crypto bro, but I did have Bitcoin for a while in like 2015. And I did make some money off of it, but I quickly realized this is fucking stupid and pointless. And it's just it's the same as if you invest in some stupid shit that ends up paying off. Like if you invested in Tesla, and like when that came out, cool. But if you really believe in that, and you're just like, this is like my identity as a Tesla investor, then go fuck yourself. But if you made some money and you cashed out, good on you.
Technically, I have to say, in this court, I do find you guilty, but you're a podcaster now, so I'd say you've already done your hours of community service for this crime.
We've all done some cringe in our lives. It's okay. I'm a
maybe we're doing cringe right now. Who knows?
I'm an anthropologist. I have to learn through embodiment, and I'm like a gonzo journalist. I have to be a part of a society to truly understand it.
Yeah. Speaking of more things, just rounding out some points on the NFT crypto AI stuff. There was a big like court case or some shit about the company OpenAI. They're in a lot of hot fucking water with some very powerful people.
Ooh, go on.
Yeah, I forget what his name is. Like some very like this is like a side character on Wolf of Wall Street or some shit. His name was like Sam Bankman.
Oh,
Moneybags,
yeah,
whatever.
Sam Bankman Freud.
Yeah.
Freed.
That guy is on trial for like, what is it, like a few $100 million or some shit. And he's
right.
like, I think he was like looking at like decades or like centuries in prison.
Yeah,
which seems insane, but like
I do tangentially remember that. You probably know more than me about this, maybe, but wasn't it kind of like a Ponzi scheme type of got a bunch of investors and then just did a grab and run, and then they were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, basically every like crypto thing is like a fucking, what do they call
pump
it?
and
Like
dump.
a pump and dump sort of deal.
Yeah.
It's all basically that at the end of the day. And, I have a lot of hot critiques for our justice system. Like, oh, rich people never face consequences. But you know what? Sometimes they do. Namely, when they piss off a lot of other very rich people, and they can be cut off from the rest of the upper class like that. So that guy is totally fucked.
Well, that's the thing, is like financial crimes, the penalty shouldn't be a fine. It should be jail time, because they have money. They just did a financial crime. I mean, you could take their money too.
I think they should do community service where they're put up in the stocks in the town square, and anybody can just like flog them whenever they want. I think we need to bring back,
honestly,
public humiliation.
I agree, and people are all these woke liberals are against capital punishment, corporal punishment, not capital punishment. There's only a few people who should be killed, and we'll talk about them later.
Will we?
No, nobody should ever die. That's bad. But flogging, yeah, let's be a little bit more like Singapore and just cane people for doing bad things like spitting gum in the street.
Caning is the best, because like I'll say this. I've never been caned in my life. I'm sure it probably hurts quite a bit, but there's just something very comical about it. Just like an old man's walking stick, just like right on the ass. I don't know. It's like, it's inherently kind of slapstick.
I think it's actually like the equivalent of getting whipped. In the sense that it seems like, oh, that stings, but actually you're doing like serious damage to somebody.
Oh yeah, like it's your first day at the bondage dungeon or whatever. You're not very
Yeah,
good
exactly.
At it.
I mean, I really think we should put them in stocks and just for weeks on end, just people can go and throw rotten cabbages and tomatoes at them like an old medieval village.
Yeah, I mean there was a brief period, and I want to say I think this was like a Victorian era London sort of thing where they used to have like public surgeries or whatever. You could walk down the street and look into a shop window and see like a dead body, like, oh, we did an autopsy, look at this fucked up way this person died.
Oh, cool.
And that's pretty morbid, but maybe we could make an attraction you go to, like a place to hang out, and you don't have to spend money. You can just admire the finance bros and the stock,
like a zoo, like a zoo for like a scumbag zoo. Dude, I would totally go there. And it's like when you go to a petting zoo and there's like a vending machine and you get like pellets to feed the deer or whatever, but instead it's like a chud zoo, and there's a vending machine where you get like a rock to just chuck at their face.
Okay, well, I was gonna say Nerf darts, but we can work out the specifics when we
a soft rock, a pumice stone.
We'll work it out.
Yeah.
Last point, maybe second last. We'll see on the AI crypto shit. This is a more recent headline. It turns out a lot of the big popular image data sets for like Stable Diffusion and Midjourney and stuff, they found a lot of CP on those, dude.
That does not surprise me. Also, but like the thing is, I can honestly say I've never like accidentally stumbled upon CP before. So like, what image databases are they use? Like, what web crawlers are they? What are they scraping with where they're finding like CP? Because that's not on the surface web. I mean, I hope it isn't, at least, but maybe it is.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff about like, I think we talked about this before with the YouTube kids stuff. A lot of people just looking up like weird home movies, like, oh, these kids are just, oh, look at their feet covered in mud or some shit. I don't know. It's I don't know where the stuff was sourced either, but it's very weird. I will say, I've messed around with AI before. Not like none of the artwork I make uses AI. I've never posted.
Oh no, for sure.
I've posted.
You definitely have to try it out.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was the fad. I was like, okay, I'm gonna generate like Shrek wearing like the Five Nights at Freddy's suit or some shit. I'm like, that's funny for like a few minutes, but whatever.
Yeah.
I will say, when you generate like a typical like fucking like anime girl or like an illustrated character or something, I will say a lot of those characters, I'm like, these look like teenagers. These look like children. How do I generate something that's like a little more adult? And, at the time I was just like, okay, well, maybe that's just like a societal beauty standards thing. Maybe the data is just like, okay, a lot of people just like fucking young anime women or some shit like that. But now it's like, it seems dark and tainted now.
It kind of just tends towards that, is what you're saying? By default?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not gonna give anybody shit for playing with AI if you're just making like dumb shit posts or like goofing off with your friends or something. But I don't know. This kind of takes the fun out of it.
Yeah. I don't know. I've fucked around with it a little bit, just out of curiosity. Not half. Pretty much everything I made was like, this looks like a fucking fever dream that I would have. Which, like, you could use that as a reference to. I mean, and that's the thing. Is like, AI is fucking stupid. I hate the buzzwords and all this type of shit. But like, I wouldn't say generative shit, but stuff in like in the music programs that I use, where it's just it takes something and it kind of changes it in a certain way. And then it's like, oh, look, that's kind of a neat idea. And then you run with that in a certain direction. Obviously, that's way different than typing in, like, make cool image in AI program. And then it's just spits out some bullshit. But
I'm definitely not one of these people that's like, there is no ethical use for AI ever. I'm sure if you really dissect it, there's probably some like practical creative process application for some of these tools. I'm not gonna litigate that today. That's a whole other convo. I don't know. It's a mess. We don't need to. Well, get into that.
Yeah. I mean, and there's also the things too. Is just like if you're automating grunt work, like if you're doing keyframes and animation, and there is a program that can kind of like interpolate those, I think that's cool. Like, and then it frees up an animator's time to do more creative stuff instead of just
the Enter the Spider-Verse movies. They use some of that stuff, and everybody loves those movies. I think the art is fucking incredible in those movies.
Yeah, yeah.
There was some of those tools involved, but whatever.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that's an ethical use of it, is to just automate, like I said, grunt work, and let the creatives do creativity instead of just grinding out cell after cell after cell after cell of animation.
Yeah, for sure. I think that wraps up what we got on the AI crypto stuff. We're quite a ways in, so maybe we can do like a rapid fire just to shoot through a couple of these real quick.
Fuck AI.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go on.
Let's see another thing. Remember the fucking like Bud Light controversy earlier this year where they got what was her name, like Dylan something?
Dylan Mulvaney.
Dylan Mulvaney. She did like a commercial for Bud Light beer, and all the chuds were very mad and upset about this, and it was one of those funny fucking boycotts or whatever. I remember there was the thing a couple of years ago where they were very mad at like some shoe company, and everybody was like burning their sneakers.
Oh, and then there was a Gillette one because there was like an interracial. I forget what that one even.
The commercial with Gillette was like there was a woman walking by on the street, and some dude's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get some of that," and then his friend stops him and he's like, "No, respect women," or something like that.
It has nothing to do with the razor at all. This man shaves with a Gillette, so he does not catcall women. Anyways, buy Gillette razors. This shit is so fucking stupid. I will say I've never seen that Bud Light Dylan Mulvaney commercials. I don't even know what's in it. It's probably just like, isn't it just?
I think she's just holding the can of Bud Light and is like, I love shitty beer or something like that. I'm not a big Bud Light person.
Yeah, and just
but it's extra funny now.
Yeah.
Like this is just one in a long series of like fucking stupid impotent protests where like they're so mad at these products that they'll go out and buy 20
cases and just like shoot it with the most expensive ammo you could possibly buy. Just be like, take that, that'll fucking libtards. You're not making my son trans.
Yeah, you know, I'm not a big marketing person because, like, I still have a soul, but I would have to imagine that if I was, like, there's no way these companies don't factor in, like, the backlash, the outrage. Like, this is part of their marketing plan, right? Like, they have to lean into this. They're like, oh, yeah, they'll buy this because they're so mad. Like, who cares? They're still buying
Also,
it.
You are not... you're not going to topple Anheuser-Busch. I think that's who owns Budweiser. There's like 3 fucking beer companies now other than microbreweries, so it's like they're gonna be fine, dude. Like, just shut up.
I don't have the chart in front of me, but there was some like big popular chart. I'm sure everyone's seen it by now, where it's like, oh yeah, every fucking like mainstream brand you can buy in a store eventually trails back to like 12 companies that own everything.
Right, and it's like, oh, you're gonna switch from Bud Light to Miller Lite. Like, they're probably owned by the same parent company at the end of the day, anyways. And I'm pretty sure there was also the thing where like a bunch of grifting chuds, they were like, I'm making Patriot beer. And it's just like and it's not woke, and there's like a Confederate flag on it. I think it was... And like in the distributor who actually, you know, filled the cans that they then rebranded was like owned by the same parent company as fucking Bud Light.
Actually, this wasn't on my list of stuff, but now that you say that reminds me, they were also mad about the her/she's, the Hershey bars or whatever, and the fucking like Daily Wire people or whatever made their own like gender chocolate bar or some shit, and it was just like it was like really overpriced, like kind of shit.
Only 2 genders chocolate bar, and Matt Walsh would just like take bites out of it while like furiously jerking off to his 6th trans porn session today.
Yeah, he takes a break from gooning to enjoy some Bud Light and her/she's.
Oh man, that's the thing. You know, these guys just fucking rock the trans section of YouPorn.
Dude, Matt Walsh is a fucking freak. There's something he calls his fans like the baby dolls or like the little babies.
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
doesn't he have a
baby plushie of himself?
Yeah, he has with like a diaper on. It's like that dude is probably filled with so many ratchet fetishes. And like if you have a diaper fetish, we still love you. Just to be clear, but you know you're comfortable with it, and you do it in a healthy way, I'm sure. But we don't like Matt Walsh, so we'll make fun of him for anything he does that's different from us.
Yeah, he's going in the stockades as soon as we get those set up.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
We're gonna have a field day with him. Moving on. Speaking of impotent protests, this one I'm a little more sympathetic to. But earlier this year, there was a whole episode of drama on Twitch when the game Hogwarts Legacy came out. You remember that?
Oh yeah, and and number one, fuck that game. Even besides the what's her name, the J.K. Rowling bullshit, like she fucking sucks. She's a hack. Whatever. I was never really a big Harry Potter fan in the first place, so maybe I think
I read the first 1 or 2 books when I was 8 years old or something.
Fucking fine, I guess.
I saw the 4th movie on an airplane once because that's what they play.
I think the appeal of Harry Potter is its wish fulfillment for useless people who also want to do genocides, because they're just like, yeah, I'm not a muggle. I would totally be in Hufflepuff if I lived in that world. It's like, nah, bitch, you wouldn't be a wizard. You'd be getting fucking. You'd be getting killed by wizards.
It's weird because it's like, oh, Harry's this sweet, innocent, nerdy little boy, but if you actually read the books, he's a wealthy, privileged jock who wants to become a wizard cop or something. It just fucking sucks.
Yeah,
it's really badly.
There's a lot of weird fucking narratives in that story. The most obvious one is the Muggles are below us shit. If that story fleshed out over 50 years, it would just be putting Muggles in concentration camps at the end of the day.
I mean, there was some shit. I'm not a big Harry Potter lore head or anything, but I think the Fantastic Beasts movies that came out, they take place in the 40s or 50s or something.
Oh, yeah.
It's the wizards have to make sure World War II happens, or else Wizard Hitler will do some. I don't know. It's really stupid.
Yeah. But besides all that, besides the fact that J.K. Rowling sucks, obviously. She is a TERF, which also sucks, obviously. And
stockades.
Yeah, absolutely, stockades. Number 2, my thing with that is just it's just another fucking AAA Dark Souls ripoff fucking slop game that people are going to pay $70 for. And they're going to be so excited for it. And it's so epic.
It's so dog shit, dude. That game has zero cultural impact.
Completely forgotten about. The only relevance that game has today is for some reason, gaming computer building YouTubers use it as a benchmark. And I don't know how, maybe they pay.
Does it even look that good? I don't think.
I think it's just part of a slew of games where it's just this kind of game looks this way and this kind of game looks I don't know why you wouldn't use Elden Ring or something. I think it's the same type of engine, but yeah,
for sure. I will say, okay, as far as because I brought it up, I segued on the whole impotent protest thing, and I'll say, you know what, a lot of people were very mad. They're like, I think my favorite Twitch streamer should not play this game, and I'm sympathetic to that. I do think, yeah, J.K. Rowling makes money off of this thing. You probably shouldn't support that. But even the most tepid criticism from a couple viewers, you see a couple people on Twitch, they take that as I'm literally being 1984 stockades censored. Oh, I just want to play the fucking game. No, I can't let these uppity faggots or whatever get mad at me or something. I don't know if I can say that on the show. We'll beep it out if I can't say that.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Who cares, dude?
Yeah, we're not monetizing this. We're anti-woke.
I'm allowed to say it because I am one, okay?
True.
But the point is it's okay, the only fucking cultural impact that entire game had was the fake outrage about people, quote unquote, not being allowed to play it or some shit. It's complete garbage. It's stupid shit. Fuck Twitch streamers. Fuck.
Absolutely. And on the other side too, there is a bunch of people that I knew and in other communities as well who they did this press release that was just like, I know there's a lot of controversy, but I really love Harry Potter, and I really want to play this game, and I don't want to exclude anybody. Just like the paragraphs of shit, and it's just like, you went through all of this to pay $70 for a game that you played twice on stream, and then immediately forgot about it.
Nostalgia is a brain disease,
yes,
and it makes you stupid.
Yeah, and it's also like, the thing is like, if it was like, if like the creator of League of Legends was like, I fucking hate gay people, and like that's your bread and butter, and like they came out and said like, hey, that's fucking shitty, but like also like I'm like a pro at this game, so I'm gonna keep playing it. That would be one thing, but it's just like, these people are doing press releases so they can pay a shit ton of money for this fucking forgettable, disposable bullshit game, play it twice, and then leave. It's just like, dude, play it on your own and don't tell anybody about it. Like, nobody's showing up to your stream to watch you play Hogwarts Legacy. There's 5,000 other people who are just like, yes, I am transphobic, and I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy.
So the reason I was aware of this at all is because there was an FF14 streamer, YouTube person who I won't name because like she sucks, who cares, who wanted to play the Hogwarts Legacy game earlier this year, and it was really funny because her entire brand was like, I'm the cute, wholesome uwu streamer, I wear like the bunny ears headband, oh I'm so cute and silly, haha. And like she got into a big stupid like embarrassing fight with her chat about it. And like there's videos of her playing Hogwarts Legacy, and she's there wearing the silly bunny ears, but like she's like just pouting and looking so fucking like seething mad the entire time she's playing. Like, I'm having fun no matter what the hater is saying. It's like, this is pathetic, dude. This is so stupid.
Well, I mean, to end that one, this is the correct take because it's mine as usual, but I posted in somebody's Discord at some point while this whole discourse was going on. I said, you shouldn't not play Hogwarts Legacy because J.K. Rowling is transphobic. You should not play it because Harry Potter sucks and this game is
exactly. I was thinking the exact same thing. You know, that's a good note to end that point on the list on.
Yes.
Yeah. Harry Potter sucks. Enjoy better media. Whatever, dude.
As always,
these fucking Twitch streamers are fucking NPCs. And you know what? Speaking of NPCs, that was another trend earlier this year. The fucking TikTok NPC streamers.
Yeah, and I think that kind of goes along with a lot of things that have been happening on TikTok and are still happening now and happened in the past. It's just like vaguely coded fetish content for children. Not necessarily children, but like children do use TikTok. So it's
some of it definitely is. I think back to the fucking the lady that made it like popular and viral. That ice cream so good, and she's just like bouncing her titties or whatever,
and in like popping popcorn in a flat iron. Like it's so fucking bizarre. Like what the fuck, dude.
We should do a super despair world NPC TikTok stream, and it's just like 5G towers, slurs, consume better media or something. I don't know. What are our running jokes?
Fucking moist critical.
Moist critical. Everybody moist critical here. Today we're shitting into our open palms and smearing it all over the walls.
I watched an NPC streamer today, and she looked like a poopy that went through a diaper and got lit on fire, and it tastes like shit.
Ice cream
so good. More like ice cream so bad. This stream looks like absolute donkey shit, and I would know because I've eaten a donkey shit.
The moist critical thing, like he's basically like the fucking like angry video game nerd. Like, oh, this game's a bunch of poopy ass dicks made out of balls. Or
I mean, it's probably really funny if you're 12. I think the difference with him is instead of like screeching and doing like an overreact, he delivers it in the most like monotone, checked out thing, which is like that's preferable to people. He's
the straight man, in comedy terms.
Yeah. That is definitely preferable to the screeching, overreacting person. When anybody posts like a clip like that, and it's just like somebody like clearly poorly acting in reaction to some like shitty horror game, it's just like, dude, stop.
Yeah.
Please stop.
I have two takes about the NPC streamers thing, and then we'll move on. The first one is, it reminds me of this thing I saw while it was popping off. There was some like art exhibit or some shit, like an art thing somebody made like 10 years ago, where there was like this machine full of pennies, and you crank the wheel and it gives you like 1 penny every 5 seconds or some shit, and it reflected like, oh yeah, this is like the working minimum wage in New York in like 10 years ago or something.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of like that, right? That's basically what these people are doing. They're just doing this like weird endurance performance thing for however long and getting paid pennies every few seconds.
I mean, I do know that TikTok pays bullshit, but that chick, whatever her fucking name is, it doesn't even deserve to be said on this illustrious podcast.
I can't say it because I don't even know who
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know either.
The fame is so ephemeral, dude. Like, nobody's gonna be talking about this next year, which,
sure.
or I guess, I mean, current year, which we're recording on Monday, definitely.
Sure, but I do remember that chick claimed she made like $3,000 a day. I don't know if that's true or not. I have a hard time believing that, because like the shit you get on TikTok is it's like fractions of a penny. Like the cheers and the roses and ice cream and all that bullshit. It's like, it's absolutely nothing. But the worst part about that, besides the fact that it's just like weird, like control fetish content on a fucking open platform that's not specifically made for porn, is,
won't somebody please think of the children?
Won't somebody think of the children? But when that was at the height of its popularity and all the discourse was going on around it, I remember like scrolling through TikTok and just seeing like people like trying to do the same thing, and it's just like, but they had like 6 viewers, and it's just like, dude, you are. It's one thing for her to be doing that, like that is still degrading, but when you're making a lot of money, you know, we all degrade ourselves for money every day. That's I
mean, we're podcasters, so don't listen to our take on what is degrading.
True. But like, it's just
aim higher.
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of people like copycatting her, but like getting nothing, and it's just like, this is like actually fucking sad. Like, stop doing that, please.
If you see somebody,
get education.
If you see somebody making money, making quote unquote easy money doing somthing online, and you're like, oh, I can do that, it's already too late. You missed the train.
Exactly.
It's not going to happen.
Yes,
don't do it.
Especially when it's like, I will do exactly what they're doing. It's like, well, they're already doing this, and they already have an audience. They're already getting all of the resources. What, you're doing the exact same thing. What do you offer?
The ship is sailed, dude.
Exactly.
You can't get a ticket. Exactly. You're not on the boat. It's already out at sea.
Well, but yeah, and that's the same as like the Twitch streamers and YouTubers who just do like completely fucking derivative content. And I'm not talking about like being in the same category or also doing the same, but like they just like imitate PewDiePie or whatever. It's just like, there's already a PewDiePie who just has way more resources and built-in audience and everything than you. Like, why would they watch you over him, other than the fact that, you know, he says the N-word a lot?
I don't know if he says it a lot, but he
said at least once. He probably says it a lot off of stream.
He works smarter, not harder.
This is a really quick aside, but have you ever seen that? Like, it was this video that was shared, and it was like some like door-to-door salesman who was trying to sell somebody like fucking solar panels or like roof shit or some stupid bullshit that nobody needs. And it was caught on some dude's Ring camera, and he walks up to the door and like knocks on the door, and then the guy, it's a black dude, like it's a black family, and the salesman is just like, hey, we're like talking to all the N-words in the neighbor, and he's like,
oh my God.
Like he meant to say neighbor, but he said that, and he was just like, oh, I'm sorry. And he just like walks away. So there was
you gotta show me this after.
Yeah, it's so cringe, dude. It's so cringe. And then
that is like the Freudian slip.
Well, so that's the thing, is there was this discourse about it, like, oh, he obviously said the wrong thing. It's like, dude, I've never accidentally said the N-word in my life. And the only people who I've seen do that before are ones who say it like on a regular basis, and they're just like, whoop, didn't censor myself this time.
If you've got that bullet in the chamber,
exactly, exactly. You just spun to the wrong to the wrong one that time.
Yeah, the roulette did not go in your
exactly. But the apologia for that one was very funny. It's just like, no, dude, he clearly fucking says that word constantly.
Yeah, that's wild. I've introed the last couple. Do you got something on the list you wanna jump to?
Shit. Well, so I'm gonna throw one from your ancestral homeland. Huge.
I know exactly.
Yeah,
what
we're
it
talking
is
about
now.
the big W that Romania did by imprisoning our boy.
Mentioned, yeah.
Romania mentioned Andrew Tate arrested and imprisoned for for just like no real reason. It's just the powers that be. The powers that be they were too threatened by him. Just like Donald Trump
goes to Jerry's Pizza.
Greta,
that was nuts, dude. So
nailed by Greta.
Greta Thunberg. Oh, what a wacky character. She's like a Muppet if the Muppets weren't fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I do think like eco-climate people who are just like, see, it was less plastic bags, are pretty annoying. It's just like, that's you should use less plastic bags, but the thing about like all of these eco-lib types are that they completely ignore like heavy industry and just like huge systems, and they're just like, if you take shorter showers, we won't have global warming. It's like, no, dude. First of all, people aren't going to do that, and second of all, like, maybe we should just
Yeah, I'm not like some big like anti-climate action person, obviously, but a lot of the stuff we do just kind of makes the whole movement seem bad. Like, I fucking hate using like paper straws or whatever.
Oh God, yeah.
Maybe I need to buy a metal one, but like, who gives a shit, dude? I don't know. It's very dumb.
There are a few things like New York State banned plastic bags. Like, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. There's paper bags now. That's better, I guess. Like, plastic bags are fucking stupid. But the just like, you can do your part by not using toilet paper and instead just taking a shower every time you shit. It's like, but don't use water. Just only use a little bit of water. Use wastewater. Collect rainwater and wash your ass with it. It's just like, dude, nobody's gonna fucking do that.
Yeah, for sure. But the New York banning that doesn't compare to Romania banning sex trafficking, which, I said, rare Romania W.
What color is your Bugatti?
I
hope Romania. I almost called it Robania. I'm very sorry to shit on your heritage like that.
1 week stock rates. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Only the soft tomatoes, please.
Okay.
But yeah, that because that dude was that's probably been going on for like a couple years. The year before this one as well. I think that was the rise of Tate. And he's fucking incredibly lame, incredibly pathetic. This guy, as a real alpha male, I can clearly see that Tate is not. He's just he's a little baby boy who's just very upset.
Yeah, I'm gonna second that as someone who is so alpha as a male that I'm doing my new game plus. This is my prestige run. I'm doing this alternative
alpha
playstyle.
Female. There you go.
Exactly. Yeah, there we go.
But yeah,
I will say
no. Go ahead
about the whole Andrew Tate thing. Obviously, I'm no fan of the police, but I just get a little bit of joy thinking about all the like fucking corrupt ass like Eastern Euro cops that are just like raiding his compound, and they're like, I think I want this Bugatti, actually.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, they probably fucking robbed a shit ton of stuff from him.
Yeah, dude. Those fucking evidence lockers are like fucking Christmas came early.
Yes. Just, we have to repossess this car. There's just no way around it. And then like on top of that one, the fresh and fit guys got demonetized by YouTube, right? Which that's their bread and butter. I don't even think they have like a Patreon or anything.
From what I heard, the fucking studio that they recorded Fresh and Fit out of was just like some guy did a lot of like illegal modifications to his apartment or something, and he got in a lot of trouble. Like they filmed in an apartment and they like registered it as a business.
That makes
some shit, which
okay,
like
and it like wasn't zoned for it. Like that makes so much sense too, because that's how, I mean, even outside of these manosphere scumbags, like the like hustle culture type of dudes. I forget the guy who was like really famous for this. He was a Southeast Asian looking dude, I think. Do you know what I'm talking about? And he would like rent Lamborghinis and be like, I have so much money. And it was like,
was it fucking Ty Lopez?
Yes. That guy.
Knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. And it came out that he was like completely full of shit, and he would just like just pose in front of like other people's cars on the street.
Yeah, but I mean, he kind of got away with it, right? Like, yeah, he.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean,
some shit, but like
fake it till you make it.
Probably, yeah. I will say, I resent the Fresh and Fit guys for making me side with based landlords, I guess, for evicting them, because like, as much as I hate landlords, as someone who used to live
I mean that's a thing. Like a broken clock.
If you're recording some shit ass podcast and you're bringing like 10 like thoughts over to like say like women are dumb or something every few days or whatever, that's gonna be really fucking annoying.
That was the craziest thing about that podcast, is they would just get people, like they would get these girls on there who clearly just like all they cared about was like being on it, like being in front of a microphone and a camera, and they would just be like, so you're a stupid ass slutty bitch, what do you think about this? And they were like, this thing, and they were like, fuck you, you're a fucking idiot, here you have it, folks, all women are dumb whores. And they were just like, ha.
I think back to the episode of The Simpsons where Lisa is really upset with her Malibu Stacy doll, where she pulls the cord and does the voice line like, teehee, I'm just a girl. That's it's the human version of that. And it's really funny too, because I was on Twitter recently, and I don't remember any names, but there was like some OnlyFans girl who was like leaking some DMs from one of these like manosphere podcast guys, who like, this guy was like super shitty and like bitched her out on the show like a few months ago or something, and she leaked some DMs like, yeah, this guy is still in my DMs every week begging me to come back on his show for attention.
Well, see,
this is so
that's
sad.
The thing about the manosphere like alpha male PUA guys, is it's a horseshoe theory between pathetic simps and them. They think they're different than them, but like they're still like all of the pickup artists, manosphere, Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate type guys, they are fucking obsessed with women. They are obsessed with women, but the simps are just like, maybe she'll notice me if I just say the right thing or give her enough money. And the other guys are like, she'll respect me if I call her a stupid bitch and make a YouTube channel about how all women are whores, and then just
it is a weak man's idea of a strong man.
Absolutely.
But they're all weak.
Absolutely. In the same vein, especially like the pickup artist guys, they surround themselves with the worst women on it, like the most shallow, plastic, terrible women on the fucking planet, and then they're just like, see, all women are whores and they're all dumb. And it's like, where are you meeting women? Like at the shittiest, most expensive club in the city, where like,
I mean, let's be real, they're meeting them on Craigslist to bring them on the
you
show.
can't meet girls on Craigslist anymore. They removed that. Not that
I'm
I
sure
would know.
It's like
I heard
podcast guest. looking for a podcast guest, must have big titties and OnlyFans, or I don't know.
I think they do still have that on Craigslist because I fucking love Craigslist.
I'm sure there's a way. I'm sure you can use.
I'm sad Craigslist has dipped in popularity because I think most people use like Facebook Marketplace and shit now, and Craigslist used to be fucking awesome, man. Like the missed connections boards and like the things, and it was just like I'm just looking for a woman who really likes to fart and hit me up, and they like post their personal cell phone number on there and like a picture of themselves. Like, man, that is a fucking gangster.
I like
right
going
there.
on Craigslist to look at like the fucking community forums for like rural bumfuck nowheres, like where I live.
Those are
like,
crazy because like it is truly like a relic of the old internet.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? Speaking of things past their expiry date, the big point I want to end on for the Manosphere podcast, Andrew Tate type guys, is like the shelf life of these grifters is getting shorter and shorter, dude.
Oh yeah. People lose interest in this shit really quick.
It was really outrageous. Like the first time Andrew Tate came on the scene, I thought it was kind of funny. Like he's like posing with like these shitty like mall ninja swords or whatever. I'm like, okay, this guy's like a
and with
character.
women who were clearly prostitutes, and people were like, yeah, he knows how to get women. It's just like, dude, you just.
It's like the Old Spice commercial. They're like, oh, now I'm on a horse. Oh, my hands are diamonds. Like he was like that guy, but like a little more full of slurs.
In the Tate dick riders were so funny because it's just like anything they said was just like, oh, you've clearly self-reported. You've like never even touched a woman in your entire life.
Yeah, I don't actually believe women can orgasm. I've never seen it in my life.
Yeah. It's a Hollywood farce.
Yeah, you know, speaking of some dry ass vaginas, I'm on fire with these segues today. Let's talk about. I think we can talk a little bit about Elon Musk, the man of the year.
That is probably the biggest thing, like internet wise, that happened. And we kind of talked about it before, but I've never seen somebody fumble continuously so hard as this guy. It is so fun watching him fucking fail.
It is a non-stop breakdown. Yeah. Every time you think like, oh, this is rock bottom, he just keeps digging further. To get onto like a few topical headlines, it seems like, okay, a lot of people for years thought, okay, Tesla cars, yeah, fuck Elon Musk, but at least it's like an environmentally friendly whatever.
Right.
But like those seem to be getting shittier and shittier every few weeks or months or whatever this year. I just see like new videos of like, oh yeah, taking out Tesla's self-driving car for a test run. Oops, nearly died.
Did you see that video of like these like divorced dads with like polos in cargo shorts like kicking the Cybertruck, and they're just like, see, you can't break it, and like the Cybertruck apparently is like one of the worst vehicles ever made.
I've seen so many videos of the Cybertruck trying to go up like a slight incline on a hill, and it just can't.
Like, this is a truck that can do anything, and it's just like it has to. And there's a video of the Cybertruck being pulled away by like a Ford F-150 diesel.
Yeah, before he passed, my dad had a big fucking Ford F like 350 or something, and like that thing felt like driving a fucking tank.
I've driven one of those before too, and I thought I was driving a fucking spaceship. I was like, this is not fun to drive. I don't like this at all.
I drove one for a bit, for a couple hours on a little road trip with my dad back in 2018, 2019. I went down the highway with that, and it felt like driving a fucking tank. I was like, oh, I am behind like several tons. Like I could kill something with so much ease right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't like big vehicles. I wanna be tight to I wanna feel like I'm one with the road.
I'm kind of torn because I see those. What do you call them? Maybe you know this. The tiny little like Japanese like utility trucks or whatever.
Oh, the K trucks. Yeah. Yeah.
The K trucks. I really want one of those, but then I'm like, okay, I live in like a fucking rural area in North America, so I don't want to get like fucking bodied by some like dipshit.
See, that's
driver,
the problem
you know?
too. Is like anytime there's a discourse of like I'm gonna buy a fucking Miata or something like that, they're just like, good luck. Like you are going to get run over by some like drunk fucking old white man in a fucking Ford F-250 lifted truck, and you're just gonna be like crunched into bits. So it's kind of like this war. I'm gonna get fucking
gored by Hans Moleman behind the Killmobile.
Exactly. And all these dudes in these suburbs, they're like the worst drivers too, and they'll like get pissed at you if you like are obeying the rules of the road, and they're just like swerving around and like they'll be like, this person cut me off, and it's like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, I was just driving, and you're just like you can't see over the steering wheel. Like,
sometimes I'll be driving out to like the town like 30 minutes away from me to like get some groceries or something, and like I'm still on my like fucking like practice permit or whatever, because I haven't passed like the full license test yet or whatever. I feel like such a fucking dork, because I'm like, okay, there are like 100 cars around me. I'm literally the only person following the rules here, and it's like, oh god, it sucks. I hate driving so much.
Driving like in theory, like operating a car is cool, but just driving for transportation fucking sucks, dude. I really miss living in a city where you could just hop on a subway or a bus, and it's just like, oh man, don't have to worry about shit. Don't have to worry, especially parking. Like, fuck parking.
I miss the bus, dude. Like, yeah, there were like a couple like times of day or certain routes, like certain times when I had to go to college or whatever. It's like, okay, this bus is really packed.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
That's to get to the building in like a few minutes.
That's annoying. But like when it's like
most
a chill,
of the time,
yeah.
Most of my routes are like, okay, the bus is like at 10% like capacity. Most of these seats are empty. It's very chill.
Right.
I liked that.
And you just get to like just cozy up in a seat, throw your fucking headphones on, fuck with your phone and shit, and that like that's freedom. That's fucking freedom.
Mm-hmm.
But all these North American people are like, oh, driving a car and sitting in traffic for 45 minutes. That's the American way. So, yeah, you guys are just fucking dumb.
Yeah, definitely. To bring it back to our boy Elon Musk, the one and only. Do you remember the fucking unhinged interview he gave like a couple months ago?
Yeah.
That was insane.
That's like, this is the mark of a dude who just cannot, who clearly has zero self-reflection.
Like, obviously people like you and I have seen him for what he is for like a good long while.
Right.
But I think to the general public, it was a real like the emperor has no clothes on kind of moment.
For sure. It's that combined with his divorced dad meltdown, just the fact that there's nobody in his life that pushes back on him who is like an actual person. Like, obviously everybody dunks on him all the time, but in his psychopathic brain it's just like, they cannot handle my genius, and it's like, no, like you're just actually a fucking piece of shit. But like, it's not even just like inflammatory shit. It's just like, this dude is so fucking dumb.
Yeah, you know, I didn't write down all the fun quotes from that interview. Maybe we'll go over it in the future, because it was like a good like hour or two.
Oh, for sure.
A lot of stuff. But the one moment of that whole interview that stands out the most to me in my mind was he said something like, my mind is like a storm. And then the interview was like, is it a happy storm? And he's like, no.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, I can see that. That's probably true.
Yeah, he's combined divorced dad with like the weird kid with like gloves who sits alone at a lunch table, and if you ever like try to fuck with him, he's just like, I have ultimate power in my back pocket, and it's just like, and you would think maybe this dude would shoot up the school, but no, he's just gonna Naruto run down the hallway and like get sent to detention.
Yeah, well, he's gonna buy up the school and send all those children back to the mines to mine some emeralds.
Oh God!
Oh.
And then there was the Zuck fight, which never happened. Which I thought
Yeah,
that was the only actual positive thing that could come out of this is to watch this like doughy, weird, just like insanely proportioned man fight like an actual human gecko.
Well,
yeah.
weird, weird lizard.
Yes, a lizard man with a very it's actually not really that convincing of a human skin. But
look, there's nobody who hates Mark Zuckerberg more than me. But I will say he would have absolutely,
and that's a fucked up thing about it is when you're rooting for Mark Zuckerberg and anything in this planet, it's just like, man, things have gotten bad. It's kind of like when Trump was, in his I mean, Trump is funny, but when he was just in his most unhinged and it's just like, fuck, like there might be some repercussions for this. And it's like, man, I kind of miss like Obama or George Bush. At least you kind of knew what you were in for. But this guy's just,
I don't know. George Bush was also very funny, and
he was funny in like a bumbling way. He didn't have any bravado. He was just a complete it was actually like seeing like. Well, Trump was a child as well.
The classic photo of him standing in front of the big mission accomplished sign before we kept fighting for like 20 years.
He was funny because like there was clearly like, have you ever had a pet that was like kind of lovable but kind of dumb, and you could just see there's like no intelligence behind their eyes?
Those are literally the only pets I've ever
had. So it was kind of like just any time like he talked or was being talked to, he'd kind of just like do that random stare out into nothingness and just be like,
There's something to be said that the real Heart of Darkness was from like Cheney or something, Dick Cheney.
Oh no, yeah. And I guess that's probably the most sinister part of that regime is it wasn't him. Obviously, it was people like Cheney and Rumsfeld pulling the strings on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess Henry Kissinger. Rest in peace.
Oh, that's something else that happened this year that we didn't talk about.
That was very recent, actually. That was like a month ago.
Oh God, yeah. 2023 posting big dubs by killing off a 100-year-old man who spent a very long tenure committing. I loved seeing this meme somebody made of like the Grim Reaper outside like a claw machine game. He's like, oh, there he is, finally. Oh, good times. Did Ruth Bader Ginsburg die this year too, or was that last year?
No, that was a couple of years
ago.
that was
while
Trump was in office.
I forgot about that.
That was that bad timing there. Real bad timing.
Yeah, it's almost like almost like if you have had cancer 6 times and you're like 90, maybe you should step down while somebody in your party can still replace you with.
Although maybe this is the one you were thinking of. Another recent death was Dianne Feinstein.
Oh, okay,
she was like voting on shit days before she kicked the bucket.
Yeah, still with full power, but gave like full control to her family, and but like they can control her finances, but she's still totally fine to vote on bills. That's great.
Yeah, it sucks. We're gonna do at the end of this episode, we're gonna do a little things we're looking forward to moment. And we missed the big combo this year, but next year I really got my fingers crossed for some Mitch McConnell. Let's get him out.
He's gotta go this year, right? He's got to.
There's no way, dude. His like a year or two ago, he was like giving a speech or something. Like his hand was like necrotic, dude. He was like already partly dead.
He's like a blue human. That's not normal.
If he doesn't like kick the bucket next year, then I'm convinced he's like a fucking lich or something.
Yes, absolutely. Or he just has a really good blood boy.
Yeah, he's on that good top shelf.
He's got a premium Aryan blood boy that he's just sucking the life force out of. Oh man.
Yeah. Speaking of some like weird perverted sex shit that goes on in the shadows, rip to my man Andrew Callahan of Channel 5 News. That came out right at the start of the year. That really sucked. Dude. I was so upset about that.
That did, because I really like Channel 5, and now
Channel 5 was so good.
And he's back, but it's just
I think he did something like I didn't see his new video. Didn't he do some shit with like the like was it the Jan 6th like shaman guy with the big
and it was like it was not like cheeky enough. He was like trying to be too serious about it, which lends some credence to my theory that like now that he got canceled, he's gonna start to like slowly dip his toes into like the
pivot is coming.
Yeah, into the alt-right thing, because like they don't give a shit if you like fucking sex pested a girl. Like they absolutely don't care.
I don't know if Crip Mac is implicated in this, but man, I was really hoping that like after the news came out that like Crip Mac would just like beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Like, fucking like a gang beat down for that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, no, that's
avenge those poor girls.
That didn't have the same vibe as before too. Like I don't know. I think this dude has been kind of broken by the allegations, and just the content is just like it's the same format, but it's not very good. And also, dude, the shaved head, man, you
the light inside has died, but he still works.
Yeah, and it's just in the new look. It's just like, dude, that's not really.
Wait, Andrew shaved his head?
Yeah. He.
I'm looking this up right now. This is news to me.
Yeah, he looks like a sex offender now. So, and I think
dude, that sucks.
And I think he has a mustache too.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he looks like he all. Oh, I don't want to throw my boy iDubbbz under the bus, but he looks kind of like sad iDubbbz.
Yeah, he is great value iDubbbz for sure.
This is like the TikTok boy phrenology right here.
Yeah, it's the TikTok street interview guy who's like,
you guys like music? What kind of music? Cap.
Yeah, a rip to Andrew not keeping it 55th Street.
Yeah, he is a custer. He is a custer.
Yeah, that's some custer shit right there.
Which is a buster with a motherfucking C on it.
Yeah.
They should just give Crip Mac the show at this point.
I would
totally watch a Crip Mac show.
If he's not implicated, like if he's not like ride or die with Andrew or something,
I don't think he is, man. I think that man's just repping 55th Street, and
we need to get Crip Mac on the show. Honorary third co-host.
Oh, that would be. I would go down to wherever he lives. We'll do a live one on the street. I'm down.
I think I could win him over. Like he seems like a pretty chill dude. I don't know.
That guy
what
fucking
his opinion
rules, man.
on trans people is though. Like
honestly,
shit,
man,
but
I think that's a live and let live dude. If if you're just true to yourself and you're like a you're like a real homie, I don't know, man. I see a spark of just genuineness in Crip Mac. I really like the dude. I don't think he's just funny. I think he's actually genuinely a good dude.
And you know, I can win him over because I'm a blue sitch, right? So
true.
I'm already cripped out.
True. Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we can make it work.
There you go.
Look forward to that next year, Crip Mac on the show.
Yeah, we'll get some face tattoos with Crip Mac.
Yeah, I don't know if we can do that, but if we can, I'm making it happen. Okay,
Yeah.
You miss every shot you don't take.
Exactly. I think in next year we will just start reaching out to random people, and somebody's gonna come on the fucking show.
Yeah, we're gonna do guest spots. We've got at least a few people lined up. Nobody's super famous, but they'll be fun. Look forward to it next year.
We got some people, but we're these are people we know, so we're gonna eventually start reaching out to some randos. So.
Yeah, we don't want to go super long today, but so like maybe let's just like rapid fire a couple.
All right, hit the next topic.
I got one. You know what? Speaking of going out really quickly, OceanGate, that sub is everybody on there is fucking dead. That was fun for a few days.
Yeah. That's a modern day Titanic, and I feel bad for the kid, but everybody else there fucking.
Yeah, rip to the kid. I don't think he did anything wrong. Obviously, like it's kind of tragic, but also like afterwards you see interviews of like the OceanGate CEO guy. He's like, yeah, fuck safety. I don't
exactly.
need to do
It's
that.
I'm a disruptor. So they said you need a certain amount of hull integrity to survive this amount of pressure, but like I disturb the norms of science.
Dude, the submarine was controlled with like the shitty little
Logitech.
Mad Cats, fucking Mad Cats controller.
It's a controller that you give to your worst friend when they come over to play N64. And the dude was so proud of it too.
Cats,
that was such like an Elon vibe when I saw that thing.
Controller was like $15.
Yes,
dude.
yeah. So when they when they interviewed that dude, whoever it was, and the guy was like, yeah, and he was like had this like shit eating smirk on his face, and they're just like, what? And he was like, yeah.
Dude, it's like, okay, going to explore the ocean, this already costs millions of dollars. You can't you gotta get the $15 controller. You can't get like the fucking, I don't know, $100 like red gamer controller.
Yeah, get one of those like custom fighting game controllers with like a custom PCB and like really really cool sticks on it and nice buttons. I have that. Like I don't have a
fight
sub.
sticks with like Bridget from Guilty Gear sticking her ass out or something.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't actually know if the Bridget Guilty Gear discourse was this year, but as somebody who is into that game, I feel like that discourse is never ending. Look forward to more.
I haven't
Bridget
played
discourse.
Strive in a while, but yeah, we talked about this. I'm gonna get back into it.
I played it a little bit recently because they added Elfelt to the game, and she's very fun to play.
Yeah,
there's a lot of horny fan art of that on Twitter, which, hey, that's cool.
Yeah, I have a cool little modded stick, so I'm gonna become like a fighting game champion. I'm gonna be really cool with that.
Yeah, next time we get to play, I'll show you my May game. I'm gonna take you down to SeaWorld. Gonna call me Crip Mac at the end of it.
55th Street.
Yeah, okay. Fuck it. Next point.
Yeah.
On the list, all I have written down for this point is Gyatt, Rizzler, Skibidi toilet. I don't know what I was thinking back then, but that was this year, I guess.
Yeah. So this is just like do like terminally online TikTok Zoomers like actually use this shit, or is it just a meme?
I think it's just like the Zoomer version of like, haha, so random holds up Spork whenever.
Yeah, I think the Gyatt Rizzler thing is connected to that Kai Cenat fucking douchebag. Like, terrible.
I still don't know who that is.
He's some fucking shit Twitch stream, just like absolute fucking diarrhea content. Like I won't even call it slop. It's just diarrhea. It's like him sitting in front of a computer and just being like, cap. Bruh, cap.
Ice cream so good.
Yeah, it's NPC streams for like I don't even know. Like the dude fucking sucks. Like, sorry. He's incredibly rich, probably. I think he's one of the top Twitch streamers.
I mean that's how it is on Twitch, right? You're either making no money or you're like a fucking millionaire.
Yeah, and I think that's like part of Twitch's business plan, which is why they're so financially unsuccessful, is because instead of like bringing up mid-tier or lower mid-tier streamers, they put all of their eggs in like Hassan Piker, this dude, and like Ninja. And then I think we talked about this before, but like the problem with that is, sure, they're making it a bunch of money, but like one of these dudes is going to end up like saying the N-word on stream, or like, and then like, what do you can't ban them. So what are you going to do? Like give them like a 2-day strike and be like, we don't support this on Twitch, but also like we are broke as fuck, so we need his money and by proxy yours. So it's
I didn't bring him up when we talked about the Andrew Tate stuff, but there was what's that dumb little shit's name, Aiden Ross or whatever.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he got into a lot of hot water,
and
he just moved over to Kick, which is like Twitch but like even worse, and like funded by like gambling.
Yeah, and that's
never
gonna be a fucking thing. Like, sorry.
Yeah, that guy's basically done. Like, fuck Aiden Ross, dude. Like, I actually think he should be like put down like a dog or something.
I do too, and it's not. I don't.
Can I say that on the show? I don't know.
Okay, so here's my take on that. I agree with you.
Look, I didn't mean it for real. That was an homage.
That
to
was
the classic parody tweet from Little Joel about games.
Yes, exactly. And we're talking about in Fortnite at
parody,
all
parody.
But like, yes, I agree, but not in a different sense. Like, I think Andrew Tate is like a genuinely repulsive human being, and he is like evil to the core, and just fucking he fucking sucks. But I think Aiden Ross is just incredibly dumb. Like, he is single-digit IQ, dumb, cannot think for himself. He needs a fucking handler at all times. And it's just like when you take and there's two, like, you could have like a rabid animal that just cannot control itself, and it's just murdering everything in its path. And you need to put it down. And then at the same time, you have a lame horse who just, they can't walk. They can't do anything. You got to put them down too. It's humane.
And obviously, when we say put down, I mean like when I pick up my dogs to give them a big, nice hug, and then I put them back down on the ground. That's what we're talking about.
do put downs like
put down like a dog.
Like when your elementary school teacher is like, don't put people down. Don't put them down.
Yeah. Either way, Aiden Ross definitely going in the human menagerie after his time in the Stockades.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Next year.
Just stack them up.
Support independent media. Build the world you want to see.
Yes. Yeah.
Speaking of, well, I guess we moved on past the TikTok shit. Earlier this year, in March, apparently, Congress grilled the heads of like TikTok or something for like 5 hours, and I could not sit through that entire video,
God,
dude.
yeah.
Like, it was painful.
Well, I mean, that's a whole thing of just like, yeah, there are definitely things that should be like brought up.
Are you telling me that if I download TikTok, the data for TikTok is on my device in my pocket? Yes.
Yeah. So the Wi-Fi takes my computer, and it's just like, dude, why is this person interviewing a tech CEO? You don't even know how a computer works. Like, can we get somebody younger than like fucking 60 to like talk to these guys? Like,
Human Zoo, Stockade, Special Exhibit, all of them, 100 years.
Seriously,
no trial.
Seriously, yeah. I'm more and more especially as like tech issues are becoming like legal and policy issues. It's just like, dude, we need like a hard cap at 60 for I
would put it lower. If you're doing about tech stuff, it should be like 45.
Yeah, I mean just in general, but yeah, but there should also be like specialists. It shouldn't just be like this person's from the 22nd district of Alabama, and he's like and he's just like, have you heard that like the computer has viruses on it? And have you also heard that COVID is a virus? So can you explain that?
Oh, jeez. The people grilling tech CEOs, I honestly think this should not be like an elected official thing. I don't trust people to vote on this.
There should be like an actual committee of people with like computer science and like IT backgrounds and shit. Not some like redneck from fucking Tennessee who's just like has concerns because he heard from his nephew that you can like see somebody's asshole on TikTok, and he's like really curious, but he doesn't know how to see the asshole, and he's like,
I think Drill should do it. Like Drill from Twitter. Just let him do it. He can grill.
Yeah, I mean,
we apport him to the super despair world.
I mean, that's the thing is like, that's probably the only useful place that we could put like professional Twitter shit posters, because otherwise
that would maybe. Let's pick another point on the list real quick. We still got quite a few. I don't know if we'll get to all of these. Some of these aren't as interesting as others.
Okay, what's next?
Okay. You want me to pick one? You hear about the game Starfield. I heard it's done really poorly because it has fucking pronouns.
Yep, that's
fucking pronouns.
That's exactly
current
why.
day.
That's exactly why. And that's another example of just some like hyped up AAA game that's just like people played for like 2 weeks and then set down because they're fucking boring, dude. It's all the same shit.
Listen to me, there's nobody on earth who hates Bethesda games more than me, even the good ones. Okay, I will die on this hill.
Mm-hmm.
And by good ones, I mean like New Vegas. Like, okay, sorry, not into it. Not my thing. I don't like the fucking first person like RPG shit, but whatever.
I don't think it's not a good format for RPGs. But I did like Fallout 3. I never played New Vegas.
That's fair. I will say Starfield is bad even by like Bethesda's own standards. There was some shit I heard a little while ago about how modders for the game are just straight up giving up because they're realizing, one, that it's just too fucking boring to justify all the effort.
Yeah.
And two, they're seeing a lot of like weird stuff in the code that's just making it like too tedious to mod. So I watched like a 20-minute video about this, and apparently the way Starfield is built is like, okay, all Bethesda games, they have like this big, huge open map, and it's loaded in like big squares, like these big chunks, like in Minecraft or some shit like that. But the thing is, in Starfield, everything is tied to like this invisible like spawn point for the player, and if you move too far away from it, then the game just like crashes and breaks down. So people can't do like fucking actually infinite like planet generation for like exploring these big empty maps or whatever. And if you like walk into another chunk too quickly before it can load, the game will also crash, which is why it's like all on foot. There's no like vehicle stuff, because like if you get in a vehicle, it's literally too fast for the game to keep up.
Dude, that sounds like bad game programming, but that's fucking open world games are stupid, man.
Yeah, fuck open world.
Open world. Open world is a fucking buzzword.
Genre.
True, it's a buzzword, just like fucking AI is. Like, what is the fuck? You wanna be in an open world? We're in one right now, motherfucker. Go fucking walk around for 6 hours and end up like in another fucking town. Like, just.
I think you should go to Kroger and complete the quest.
Yes. Yeah, dude, that's an open world, and it'll be you walking for 6 hours to like the next fucking city limits will be about as fucking boring as every shitty open world game that's out there. The world is fucking open world, man. Life is open world. Go do that shit. When I play a game, man, I want a fucking very discreet thing that you do right now, and you do it, and you have fun.
I want a curated, like handcrafted experience. You know?
Yes, exactly. It's the same as watching a movie. Do you want to watch a movie where it's just a dude like eating cereal and taking a shit, and then just like scrolling through his phone for fucking 6 hours? Like, that's your life, dude.
I mean, that's Twitch, right? That's Twitch, baby.
True. Yeah. It's that, but with a voyeuristic fetish, I guess. Yeah, you know, there are some open world games I liked. I liked The Witcher 3 when I played it, but the thing that made that game good is like there aren't a lot of like cheap, stupid, like knockoff, like kill 6 wolves quests. Like the stuff that you can do in that game is actually somebody actually wrote this quest. This is actually like a little story. It feels like a handmade thing. The old Fallout games, like Fallout 1 and 2, they were open world, but it's also like it was like it's more like you can kind of just go to any place you want technically, but there is kind of like a place you should go to unless you're doing some like glitched speed run or something like that. So it was kind of like the illusion of open world, but like places that are just like you could go anywhere, and so it's like, cool, I'm gonna run around aimlessly for 3 hours. I am.
Yeah, and you could make hard-hitting moral decisions like, do I want to be good and help this old man, or do I want to just completely nuke an entire town of innocent people who did nothing?
What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Yeah. Dave, give me your hot take about the Hollywood writers' strike. That was this year.
I think Hollywood is a terrible is a terrible place. And I do know some people who work in the industry, and I truly feel for them. I mean, the writers should get more money, but I feel like Hollywood is something that just can't be saved. It's not like, well, if we paid the writers more money, then it would all be okay. It's just like, we need to like destroy Hollywood and start somewhere else.
I think the entire LA County area needs to face the wrath of Poseidon and be consumed by the salty maw of the Pacific Ocean.
The thing is, with global climate change, thanks Greta Thunberg, Greta, whatever your last. I'm sorry, I'm not Icelandic, Swedish, Danish.
I think she's Danish. I'm pretty sure she's Danish. I could be wrong though.
She might be Swedish. Anyway, you're a sweetheart, and we love you. You're a friend of the pod. We're gonna get around.
Shout out to our Nordic listeners.
Yeah, we're gonna get around.
At least one.
We're gonna get around at some point. We'll get around the pod. Yeah, like there will be like a tidal wave that just envelops the entire LA area. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I kind of miss living in the comfort of Vancouver. I used to be a coastal elite for a couple years, but you know, as much as I miss the city, God, it's too fucking expensive to live on the West Coast now. That's why I'm recording this podcast out of my fucking little like Ted Kaczynski cabin in the woods.
Yeah, I mean, just keep hoarding those shotgun shells, and I'll be there.
I'm here in the mountains where the ocean cannot claim me.
I mean, I
live.
Only place I'll be safe. I live near the Great Lakes, so this is going to be like all the climate refugees are going to come here, and I've got my minigun ready to just mow you people down. Like, give me water. No.
Oh, speaking of mowing people down, you know, we didn't want to talk about this on the show because like this is very current events. This is very hot off the press. It's very heavy, dark stuff. We don't want to talk a lot about the Israel shit going on, but man, some of the fucking like weird IDF propaganda I've seen on like TikTok and Twitter and shit this year, that's been nuts, dude.
So obviously the conflict is fucking awful, and you know, we're not going to speak to the actual politics of that, but
I mean, okay, look, you don't need to get your fucking geopolitics takes from Super Despair World, the #1 comedy podcast with people who live close to 5G towers. But obviously, yeah, like fuck Israel, you know, what's going on is like fucking genocidal. Yeah. It's fucked up. It sucks. That's all we need to say.
100%.
It's weird to turn it into comedy.
And just to preface that, I do have Israeli friends, and they're fucking good people, but the government of this country is a fucking joke. Just like I'm not a huge...
No, dude, it's the only democracy in the Middle East. Yeah. Didn't you hear?
Yeah, I'm not an advocate of most of the things that the United States does, especially funding that fucking genocide as well. But to the scope of this illustrious podcast, the fucking IDF... the IDF and the Israel Twitter accounts are just completely unhinged, dude. They're fucking...
Dude, whoever runs that account is like, you know, I hate marketing people. I'm like, oh, hi, they're of the devil. No, these people are actual demons. Like, these are people wearing like human flesh suits.
But not only demons, but incompetent demons. Like, in that has been the silver lining through this entire conflict, is like, you know, mostly you just see shit and it's just like, oh man, only the most like, I don't want to use the word woke because it's been like completely corrupted at this point, but you know, the people like in the know.
It's okay. This is a safe space. You can say
no. I'll never. But the people like in the know or knowledgeable about the, you know, geopolitics or whatever, are going to have like a correct take on this. But like, man, I always check the comments whenever like the IDF or the Israel account or whatever posts some like really fucking crazy thing. Like the in the best one,
the fucking Thanos Voldemort AIR, like, oh, they're so sad about what happened in Israel.
Or the like explainer video about like the cum extraction rod.
oh yeah, I gotta collect my husband's fucking gene
Yeah, and
seed
it's
to
supposed
make more
it's supposed to
40K Space
yeah,
Marines.
it's supposed to be like a sympathetic thing, like a Q&A about like shoving a fucking cattle prod up a dead soldier's ass to extract his cum to make the new era of to the new generation of IDF soldier. And it's just, but like the thing is, like, that is fucking hilarious and horrifying at the same time. But then you check the comments, and this truly is what gives me hope for the fucking world, is like pretty much everybody, including like blue check chuds, are just like, you people are fucking subhuman. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is crazy. And then, like, the only people who post in support of this are, like, it's like user 38501 with, like, no profile picture. And it's just like,
hi, my name is first name bunch of numbers,
Yeah.
and I'm about to hit you with the worst opinion
and it's like,
you've ever heard.
but it's not even an opinion. It's just like, God bless Israel, and then like 3 Israeli flag emojis. Like, they don't even have, like, it's definitely like, it's got to be like
Dude, nobody with a flag emoji in their name is okay.
True.
Okay.
True.
It's a sign of psychosis.
Yeah.
I've never seen. It's all fucked up.
But yeah, it's also like,
Except, okay, I guess Palestine flags are okay. Okay, you know, I went too far with the flag take. Okay, but
no, if
usually it's
you have
bad.
too many flags, it's like, what's going on here?
I think okay, in your online handle, this is Breyer's rule of thumb. Keep it limited to 2 at most. Okay, you get 2 emojis. Any more than that, and you're fucking crazy. Okay, log off.
Agreed.
You can only support so many causes. Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise, it's like my entire identity is tied to these 6 emojis that I have in there.
Here are all these like pins I wear on my sweater every day. They form a suit of armor that protects me from connecting to other people.
Right. But yeah, that's got to be some like click farm in like Tel Aviv with just like a bunch of 16-year-olds who are in the equivalent of the ROTC for the IDF. It's just like, we're training you by giving you 7 smartphones where you just post like, I support Israel in like just random Instagram posts.
I think back. I've it was like last year. I think I watched Borat 2, the second Borat movie, and at the end Borat goes back to his like village in Kazakhstan. He's like, yes, we all have good technology job now or something. It's just like everybody in this like third world village just like typing like comments on social media, and like Sacha Baron Cohen is like a Zionist type dude. I'm like, I wonder, like, that's probably based in some truth, right? Like, there's gotta be all these like fucking like warehouses where it's like sweatshop conditions, but it's just a bunch of people on shitty little like iMac laptops or whatever, you know, posting for the government.
Is he a Zionist? I mean, that it makes sense.
It's actually kind of insane. So like you know his character Bruno,
yes, the gay, the flaming,
yeah. So apparently, there was this scene they recorded for the Bruno movie where Bruno goes to like Israel or some shit, and he's like being like really openly gay or some shit there, and like Sacha Baron Cohen talks about this in an interview where he's like, yeah, this is one of the only times in my career where I ever had to break character because I was doing this gay shit and I pissed off some like giga orthodox like rabbi type dudes, and they like nearly beat me to an inch of my life. And I'm like, come on, dude, like you still support this shit after that? I don't know.
It's weird, man. People are a little bit too tied to their ethnic and national identity, I guess, is a takeaway to this type of shit. And I can say this because I hate Italians. Just kidding.
Yeah,
I love Italians, but just
as a proud Romanian, you know,
the Romanian Galactic Republic salutes you.
Look, you're not getting out of those stockades, okay? As soon as we're done recording.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair.
Actually, no, you can edit the episode first, and then we'll see. So the last thing I'll say about Israel is, man, I remember I saw this one post. It was like a Twitter screenshot of like an Instagram post from this like IDF e-girl or some shit, and she was like standing on the beach in her like tactical gear or whatever, and she's like, sigh, hope I can come back here in a bikini later once we like ethnically cleanse these people and steal
I
this
saw
fucking
that
beachfront,
I saw
whatever.
that. Yeah.
And it's like, God, I remember there was a while back I saw, this is like a year or two ago, it's like a classic, one of my favorite TikToks ever, where there's some like American soldier girl with like a really like powerful like vocal fry, and she's like, oh, just doing some hot girl shit, just eating these MREs or whatever. And then it cuts to this guy like snapping his fingers in front of the camera, like, wake up, it's propaganda, wake up, don't watch this. It's like, we need more of that. Okay,
No,
so
that's the funny thing about those is they must have learned this technique from like watching Twitch streams, and it's just like, how do we get the average person to sympathize with like the most horrible people on the planet? I know. Twerking and like just appeal to the young man's penis. That's all you need to do. Just
dude, the fucking the pink washing is insane. They'll like mow down an entire like apartment complex and then hold up a rainbow flag like, sure love the only democracy in the Middle East.
Right.
When it's like, dude, gay people don't have rights in fucking Israel.
Sure,
Are you kidding me?
sure.
Like, put that fucking flag
and
down.
at the same time, that's the argument. They'll be like, oh, you're trans but you support Palestine. Well, you know you would be killed there, right? And it's like, I don't really think that it's like Israel's particularly like hot on queer people.
Yeah, and you know, I would say that the extent to which those people are like bigoted or homophobic or whatever is because, you know, the people we fund keep killing all the like secular opposition or whatever anyway.
Right.
So like, don't blame that on me. Okay, that's your guys' fault.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and that's it. Yeah, the appeal to identity is just kind of cringe in general. It's like, that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Like, you can have a stance on things that are going on. Just be like, well, you do know that some of those people don't like queer people. It's like, well, sure, but I don't. I'm sure like
there's literally nothing they could do that would make me think, oh, okay, never mind. I guess we should genocide these folks. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a few more points on the list, but you know, it seems like weird small fry to talk about after that, so maybe we'll just like wrap up there. I guess that's all the really big news for this year.
Yeah, and this year a lot of really fucked up shit is probably going to come up about me. I'm just going to preface this. There's a couple of DMs that were a little problematic. You know, it was nothing. It was not a big deal. Just saying, it's taken out of context. I'm just kidding. My DMs are immaculate. The
Super Despair World Court will review the evidence and we'll make a judgment accordingly.
We'll see.
We'll send it off to Drill.
I mean,
prosecutor Drill.
There's a few different stockades. Some of them are you get pelted with like rotten tomatoes. Some of them you get your head cut off by like a giant bastard sword. So we'll see what happens with that.
We're still working out the specifics of our 5G tower based legal system is, but you know, it's gonna come. Okay,
this is
and you're gonna come maybe if you keep listening.
This is totally unrelated, but I totally just thought of it. Is like I was gonna say this earlier, is just like the stockades thing. You remember like in old cartoons, like tarring and feathering was just this like wacky thing, like
yes.
But then you eventually realize that like tarring and feathering was like they died, like they were like literally melting the skin off of people and just like throwing them. It was like a medieval torture device.
Yeah, turns out tar sucks, dude. You don't want to get it on.
Yeah, it turns out if you pour molten hot tar on a flesh, it doesn't really end up very well. So like,
Dave, that kills people.
Yeah, but you watch like Looney Tunes cartoons, it's just like, rats. I'm covered in tar and feathers. Yeah.
I mean, you watch fucking like like Bugs Bunny like turned the rifle around. It's like, oh, this guy just shot.
Oh,
himself
that's a
in the
little bit
face.
different though, because like we know what guns do, but like I don't know about
Do
your
kids
time.
know what guns do? Do kids in like the fucking 19? Well, I guess actually,
Yes, dude. I'm pretty sure I knew what a
better.
fucking gun did when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure I knew like don't shoot another person with a gun. It's not like they turn into an
Actually, yeah, I
accordion
think-
and their eyes bulge out of their head and they're like, what?
A couple decades ago, honestly, that was probably the only fun thing to do before the internet.
Just shoot
like
each other.
get a bunch of like rabid like 10-year-olds to form like a hunting party and go scavenge in the wilds for I don't know some berries. Like when I was the kid.
Oh, true. I never had a BB gun as a child, but I do have one in the trunk of my car, and the only reason I do is because I have some friends who like live kind of out in the sticks, and I was always like, "Ah, man, let's get drunk and like shoot cans with a BB gun." It's fun. It's fun. I never think of it though because we're drunk.
If there are any federal agents listening, this is a parody. I just want you to know this happened in Roblox.
Guys, it's legal. You can have a BB gun in your car. It's a pellet gun.
I wasn't talking about BB guns. I was gonna say. Back when my dad was alive, he had a lot of, let's say, somewhat sketchy friends, and I may or may not have handled some firearms that are not legal in Canada just for fun, you know, like in Roblox.
Yeah. Roblox.
And you know, it's fun. It's fun to play with cool things on the internet.
There is I do have a friend who has a few like legal weapons. And there's like an outdoor range here, which is it's kind of out in the cut. And, you know, we go there to just plink shit and just kind of fuck around a little bit. And the dudes who go to this range, these weapons they have are definitely not legal. There's dudes just like rinsing out like clearly like illegally modified automatic weapons and just like AK-47s and shit like that. And it's like, but the thing is like, they're pretty responsible with like they're not just waving them around and doing crazy shit. Like they're, you know.
I will say I'm not like a big gun nut or anything, but you know I live out in the countryside. We get like fucking like bears and deer and like moose and shit in my area. And you know, like I live in Canada, right? So you can barely get any fucking like firearms out here.
Right.
But I thought about like maybe I should get a crossbow. That would be cool.
Crossbows are
like,
cool. I like
rule,
archery
dude.
and like just any type of bow. It's very satisfying. And I've only
People
shot
are
a
like,
bow
oh,
a
that's
few
like
times.
some medieval like Robin Hood shit, but like no, dude, like modern like archery technology.
Oh
like,
no, sure,
surprising.
yeah, and like compound.
It's every bit as deadly as
like
a gun, okay?
compound bows and shit. Like yeah, absolutely. And
I'm just saying, like, you know, if things go tits up in the next couple years and there are like roving like gangs of like Proud Boys and shit going through the area, like crossbows are pretty quiet. I don't know. I'm not saying
that's
anything.
a thing.
I'm just saying
that's a
you
thing.
know.
It's like it's the modern stealth weapon. But yeah, I mean
exactly, and I get the bonus sneak attack damage.
Exactly. And then you can wear like a cloak and shit and just be like, "Be gone, vagrant."
Yeah, and
then just put a fucking
being transgender also gives me a double jump ability. So I have good movement, I have good stealth. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Speaking of, I guess, leveling up next year though, it's time to wrap up. We got some plans for next year. Do you want to talk like what are you looking forward to? What's going on?
Well,
what's good about 2024?
We're going to become a legitimate podcast pretty soon. Just keep your hands out of your pants. We've talked about that, but it's
we
going
found some girls on OnlyFans. We're gonna bring on 6 of them next episode.
Yeah, we're gonna
to
replace Fresh and Fit. I'm gonna teach you all to be alpha, and because I know all of our viewers and listeners are betas, so it's gonna be fine. But yeah, we're gonna do all the shit. You know, get on the platforms. That's on the thing. Someday I'll make an intro song. That's also a thing.
Worst case scenario, we can just do like a shitty a cappella thing.
Right. No, I actually have some ideas since the last time we talked, but and we have the website pretty much ready to go-ish.
Superdespairworld.com. Go there.
Yes,
soon.
Yes, it does exist. It just redirects to the YouTube page right now, but
we bought the domain. We are $8 in the hole. Please support independent media.
Yeah, we need $8. So who's doing that? And then we'll
we talked about we have some guest episodes lined up. We're gonna be on all the platforms. It's gonna be good. Do you got any stuff going on, just like personal, any other projects just for you?
After I move in March, which the planned date is March 1st, I will start streaming again, and it's gonna be just general music and fuckery and some stuff like that. And in the meantime, I do have a lot of half done videos for my YouTube channel, which we're gonna flesh out as well. But I'm not gonna plug anything until there's actually things of value up there. But we are doing that shit. And I know you have a blog in the works.
Yes, at the time of recording, there's no article written yet. I just pulled an all-nighter doing all the visual stuff for like a shitty little blog spot site temporarily. I'm gonna learn some HTML. I want to make my own website properly, but I'm too eager to start writing, so I just made a shitty blog spot temporarily. You can check out my blog, Sinland Empire. Go to sinland.gay to check it out. I write about making art, just media and artwork I find interesting. I talk about tabletop games. I give my hot takes on there. Maybe it's going to be a little funny. I don't know. It's my space to write things because I never learned how to write funny tweets. So I'm gonna get a little sentimental. I'm gonna get a little cringy. I'm gonna say some things that I can't advocate for on the show without getting in trouble. Some stuff about the human menagerie and who belongs in.
Honestly, I've said this a few times before. The last fucking thing the world needs is another Twitter shit poster. Let's make things with a little bit.
There are too many of them.
And
we did it, guys. We have enough hot takes.
And hot take myself. Most of you guys are not fucking funny, dude. Like, you're just a bunch of cynical, snarky fucking losers. Get a fucking job, dude. Go to Kroger and fill out a goddamn application. Like, you really need to do something with your life. Stop mooching off
Kroger
of your mom.
Has become our Kroger's our go-to. I've never been to a Kroger. I don't think we even have them up here.
Yeah, we don't have them here either. But god damn it,
it's just a fun word. It just rolls off it's like a slur for a store.
Yeah, there's a chain of I think they're like gas stations. It's in like New England, I think. Wawa, like that's fucking cool too. Like, man, it's not as fun as to say as Kroger, but it's still like Wawa.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Up here we have a little grocery store. It's called No Frills, and you guys should get a job there because a lot of you guys have no frills.
Yeah,
okay?
you have no frills in
your
your shitty fucking Twitter hot takes. You have like 300 followers. Fucking get a job.
It's
dude.
okay. Everybody's gonna have frills sooner or later because those towers are working, and you will put on the maid outfit sooner or later. Okay, mark my words.
There you go. There you go. Getting a different type of menagerie.
The frills are coming.
All right, let's wrap this bitch up. Fuck this podcast.
Yeah,
I don't. This is 2 hours and 8 minutes. I don't want to fucking edit this shit.
Yeah. We gotta wrap up. Other than that, I don't know. Next year, maybe it'll be better. But it's also like fucking election season and shit. And God, that's gonna be fucking ass, dude.
There'll be some laughs to be had though. I think personally it's gonna be a good year. But the world.
I hope both popular expected candidates go away of natural causes of old age. I don't know, that would be the funniest possible outcome.
It's like actually possible though.
It is, dude. They're so fucking old, dude. Everybody in Congress is a fucking like necromancer.
Yeah, just a confederacy of liches.
You ever see those like fucking memes where it's like some like skull skeleton person who's like also like a biker, and they're like come and get some. That's like everybody in Office, dude.
Oh, the one like, my wife caught me jacking off and I told her to fucking kill herself. I ride or die. And it's like it's like a skeleton on a motorcycle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like
if you
those.
don't like this flag, you can get out.
Yeah, I like those memes. They're fucking cool. It's just like the only hog I'm cranking is my brother's.
Okay, people have like reclaimed them and made them funny, but like there was the original ones that were very cringe,
oh yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, like the Affliction t-shirts or whatever.
Yeah, and you know what, speaking of cringe, there's nothing more cringe than editing an episode longer than 2 hours and 10 minutes. So have a good year. Happy New Year. Enjoy the show. Yeah. Give us money somehow, maybe. Sinland.k. Give me
Yeah, this is a first episode of the new year, so let's I think this is a good one. So watch it, enjoy, and give us money. Give us money somehow. We don't
Yeah. Maybe, there'll be a way to do that eventually. Maybe we'll see. We'll talk about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And also, last thing, we have email addresses now. So Dave@superdespairworld.com, Briar@superdespairworld.com. If you wanna send some inappropriate shit, some spam mail, feet pics, like
fight me
whatever.
in real life, but schedule it over email.
Yeah. Just that's a thing that does exist. Yeah.
Come test my sneak attack damage. See how high I can roll those dice.
Come test. Say what?
All right, that's it.
Bye.
That's it.
Bye.
Good night.
See ya.
Bye.
Good fight. Good night.